Hello, guys. How's it going? Happy Sunday, or should I say happy Easter, depending on what floats your boat. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a daily, whoops, there's my chat. Welcome to I almost said daily live stream. I hope you guys remembered about me now. It's weekly now, weekly live streams. Should I be reminding you of the live stream every Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern? Losing my microphone. This light is very distracting, so I'm gonna not put it there. Hi, Tech Lords. How are you doing today? Saw you doing some Bitcoin trading on Twitter. My nightly Twitter habit that I'm trying to break. What is you guys' worst social media habit? I kind of have like a nighttime after work, before bed, check Twitter habit. But I've been watching I've been reading some articles on Medium about just really how horrible social media is and just trying to stay away slightly. But we'll see. We'll see. I think you got to keep it in perspective. But I hope that you guys are having a great day. I am in Florida. And as you can see from the surfing and beach pictures behind me, my brother took these pictures. I don't know if I told you guys, but my brother's a surf photographer and he works for Vans, but he used to work at Surfing Magazine. So our house is full of surfing photos. It's really nice to be back and just hanging out on the beach. I've been back for about 10 days now. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the observations that I've had since being back in the US, because I haven't actually been back here since I was here for a couple days over Christmas, but it was at a wedding. But I haven't really been here since January of 2018. So over a year ago. And then before that, I was gone for about 6 or 8 months. So it's really been about 2 years since I've spent more than a few days in the US. So I'll talk about that a little bit later in the stream. But first, we'll go over some announcements for the week, because always so many things happen that instead of announcing them every day, now I'm announcing them once a week. So we'll get through that, and then we'll get to some of the good stuff, and then we'll do some Q&A. So that seems to be a good format that's working for everyone. So just let me know. Hey, Walt. Yeah, Florida rocks. I actually went to a church service this morning. I don't practice any religion, but I'm very open-minded and open to, lots of different things as you do when you just live around the world nomadically. And so my parents wanted to go to the sunrise Easter service here on the beach in St. Augustine. It was in a beach called Crescent Beach, and it was really beautiful. Like, we saw the sun come up over the water and the clouds, and the beach is only like a block or so from me. So I've been going out there for a walk every morning, but not at 6 a.m. So we got there around 6:45. So we did that this morning, and then went to breakfast with my parents and my 92-year-old grandma. So that was fun. And then I just got back. That's why I'm wearing pink. I feel like you have to kind of wear pastel colors for like Easter. At least we were talking in the car about what we used to do on Easter Sunday. And my mom and my aunt used to dress all of us up. We had like Easter bonnets or hats or whatever, and the whole ordeal. My brother would wear like a bow tie. So I guess maybe that's somehow buried in my subconscious that I need to like wear a skirt and wear pink and like look Eastery. So, yes, it's traditional. It's nice to have these traditions. This is what keeps you grounded as a digital nomad and as a traveler, is having some roots, and that's totally fine. But yeah, there are some things I've noticed that have been a little bit unnerving or disturbing. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Hi, Larry. Thank you. Yes, I was going to say happy Easter, Passover / spring / Sunday / regular day of the week, and belated 420. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's funny. Actually, now that you mention it, I think I did see some Instagram posts of like I guess, music events and things like celebrating 420, but I forget about that. Tech Lords asks, okay, yeah, everyone start posting your questions so we can get to them a bit later in the stream, but I'll answer Tech Lords because he's the mod. he's one of the best. Where does one get an international driver's license? So I figured that out the right way this time, because last time I was in the States, I needed to expedite it and I needed to pay $100 to get it through some service that I found on Google, and I got it like overnighted. But if you have enough time, you can get it mail $20. If you're at a office in the US, you can just go there in person and get it done at once for $20 without having to wait around. Oh, exciting news is I got a new passport this week. So that's very cathartic to look through your passport and like 10 years of travels. And it kind of feels like closure on one phase of life and then starting a new phase, which is so weird because it's literally just a piece of paper. You know, it's just a book with pages, but it really does signify something, and it kind of symbolizes and sums up what you've been doing the last 10 years as it relates to traveling around the world. And for somebody who lives while traveling, it does have a lot of sentimental value, and I'm glad that they send it back to us. So I did get a new passport photo, and the crazy lady at Walgreens who did my passport photo said that I couldn't smile in my picture. And I was like, yes, you can. And I was showing her on Google, like, you can definitely smile. It just has to be a natural smile. And she's like, no, you can't show your teeth. And I literally had my old passport and I was like, look, I'm smiling with my teeth showing. And she's like, well, that's wrong. And I'm like, well, it might be wrong, but the passport office still processed it into a passport. So therefore, please allow me to smile. And she wouldn't. So now I'm like trying not to smile in my passport photo. I look a little bit like a convict or something. I did get the big one. I got the 52-page passport, and I thought that it would take 2 to 3 weeks to get it, and I had just under 4 weeks before I leave. So I paid a lot of money to expedite it, and it came in like 5 days. So I guess I didn't need to pay that much money, but better safe than sorry. And now I have it. And I'm very excited that I will probably not have to make a day trip run to an embassy or a consulate somewhere in a foreign country to get pages taped in or sewn in or stapled into my passport. And I just have the big one now. So it looks actually more professional, I think, and not like patched together. So that should be good for getting through customs and immigration fast. And they're not like, what is this weird passport that you have that's taped together? So that's not good. Okay, let's continue with, let's go over to Patreon shout outs. I pulled up the list. I guess there's followers on Patreon, which I didn't know, but we have followers now. Annette is a follower, which is cool. I guess you can just follow my Patreon. So go ahead and do that. Maybe Tech Lords can post the link, but you can donate or follow. So, okay, I have missed one of the perks is a monthly Google Hangout. And I started Patreon like during a time where I was traveling a lot and on vacation and at Tomorrowland Winter, which hopefully you guys all watched the Tomorrowland Winter after movie, which was super fun to make. And I was at a bachelorette party and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, the monthly Google Hangout is turning into a weekly one for the next month because I missed like the first 2 months of it. So I'm going to hold that tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So it will be tomorrow night Google Hangout with Patreon patrons. So I'll have to figure out, I don't know. I think I'll just email it to you guys or message you. So I'll create the Hangout and then I'll send you access to it. So we're going to do that every Monday for the next couple weeks so I can catch up on Google Hangouts. So if you want to join in, then get yourself over to Patreon. But I don't know if we have any new people. I think it's the same as last week, but I'll still give you guys shouts out because I like you. Why not? So Annette is a follower. Darren Perry, we have. Then in Sanula Nashi is also following, but I'm not sure if he's a patron, but hello. Larry is a newbie, new member. Margaret Manning from 60andMe. Susan Kathleen Connolly James, Tanner Bibat, Tech Lords, OG, Trader Walt, and Zivko Stavrev. So thank you guys very much. And what is next? Okay. Tomorrow we might have a special guest on Traveling with Kristin. I'm working out the logistics. I'm not sure yet, but if there is no guest, there will be a video because it will be Monday at 12 p.m. And I'm not sure which video I will post. Maybe Patreon patrons can help me decide. There's a few different options, but now there's the question of, do I post this video on Traveling with Kristin or Digital Nomad TV? Which if you have not subscribed to Digital Nomad TV, then wow, we have 41 subscribers. I will need to post in the chat. Oh, okay. If you go to my YouTube channel, on the banner, there's like the Instagram, YouTube, Facebook links at the top. If you click on the YouTube one, it will take you to Digital Nomad TV, and I'll share it with you guys so that you can see it. Screen share application window. And this is it. I have 41 subscribers. Yay. And this is the next live stream. So this is on not Traveling with Kristin, but Digital Nomad TV. Every Tuesday, we're doing a live episode of Badass Digital Nomads. And this Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, you can tune in live and watch Johnny FD and I talk about, I don't know, what do you guys want to talk about? I mean, I have obviously like an outline for things I want to ask him, but there's so many different directions that we can go in. He is the owner of Travel Like a Boss podcast. He's the owner of Invest Like a Boss podcast. He's the founder of Nomads Summit. He has courses on passive income, and he just is a multi-talented entrepreneur. So if there's something that you guys want us to focus on during the interview, then feel free to comment now in the chat, or come live, come hang out live, and you can actually ask questions. Like, this is going to be the first time I'm doing this format where it's a live interview, but for real. Like last time we had Matt Bowles on a hangout, but this is going to be this is actually going to be posted as the interview on YouTube, and it's going to be an audio podcast when my podcast launches on May 7th. So I don't know how it's going to work, but I think it will be a really fun format instead of me just interviewing people and recording it, which also works fine. You know, that's the normal way of doing it. And that's what I did with Kristin. And that's what I've done with most of the other, I think all of the other guests have either been Zoom recorded calls or they have been Zoom calls or, filmed in person on location in places like Brazil or wherever, something like that, but in Amsterdam. But this time it's going to be live. So definitely come over. Tech Lords, why can I not? Let me see if I go to my channel. I should be able to post the link in chat. Okay, cool. Should be able to post. I have multiple chats going on. Okay, so here is the Digital Nomad TV channel. I need your help. I need to get to 100 subscribers so that I can have my own link, because right now it's like youtube.com/channel/18 different letters and numbers. So if we can get to 100 subs, then I can change it to actually like Digital Nomad TV or something. But someone already has Digital Nomad TV, but I think maybe I can use an underscore or get Digital Nomads TV, or I don't know, something. What should I name it? I wish I could just use Digital Nomad TV, but it's like, anyway, I just want to get a better link so it's not this really long one. Okay, what is next? Next on the list. So we did Patreon shout outs. Patreon hangout is going to be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then every day for a couple weeks until I catch up. There is a video premiere after the stream at 1 p.m. So in about 45 minutes. And it will be related to the next announcement, which is about the Digital Lifestyle Conference, which is free to attend. So I'll tell you guys a bit about that, but you'll get a sneak peek into what it's about and what I talk about in my interview. I have some clips that I've put together into a little like mini video and some drone footage from where we filmed in Brazil. So this was filmed in December of 2018 in Brazil, and it's now going to be released. The conference starts on April 26th, but my interview is going to be on the 29th. So you can attend it for free, and I'll send you guys a link. Here's the link to register. Copy. So register for free. Heck Lord, should I send you a list of the links for these things? Okay. So after this, you'll see there's like a 3-minute video. It's like 2.5 minutes. And I think it pretty much sums up the type of content and information that you'll get, at least from my interview. But there's like 25 other people that are going to be doing interviews. And yeah, I mean, that's really cool. I actually attended the remote work summit this week, which was also free, but then you had to pay for, well, you had to register for the free one, and then you can pay to like upgrade for bonuses and stuff, but it's optional. But that summit was more towards like the corporate environment and companies, and this digital lifestyle conference, which I will share my screen with you guys so that you can check it out, or you can go to that link that I just posted. But this digital lifestyle conference is basically a virtual event with 25 plus digital nomad, mostly entrepreneurs. I don't think many of them are like remote employees, but mostly online business owners. And it's about all different topics, because becoming a digital nomad and working and traveling while working online, traveling the world, all of that great stuff. There's so many different paths to get from point A to point B, and then once you become a digital nomad, it's like a fluid experience. It can change. It can be more or less nomadic depending on what you want to do. So this is a way to hear from like 20 or 30 people on how they started, how they did it, and how they've sustained it for multiple years, and some insights into how they run their online businesses and what they've learned. And I really am so like humbled to be invited to be a part of this, because I feel like it's very aligned with what I wanted to do with this channel and with Digital Nomad TV, is to talk about these topics, but also show it in videos and show behind the scenes and talk to other people who are doing it. And that's where the idea for Badass Digital Nomads came about. But it also, before I named it that, it started as, I was going to call it like Digital Nomad Digest, where you just hear the stories of different digital nomads. And now it's kind of turned into Badass Digital Nomads instead, but that's okay. There's different iterations of ideas. But I'll share my screen with you so you guys can see. I'm getting good at this. Of course, now that I know how to do screen sharing, they're going to take it away on YouTube. So this is the Digital Lifestyle Conference, Escape the 9 to 5, Live Anywhere, Work Less, and Earn More. And it's from April 26th until May 2nd. And what's in it for you? Just getting right to the point, guys. Love that. The Digital Lifestyle Conference has one goal: to give you the tools, resources, and blueprint needed for your digital freedom lifestyle by working smarter, not harder. And as you can see here, there's a few different pillars that they're going to be talking about. Entrepreneurship, so how to build a lifestyle business, not just a brick and mortar business or a small business in your home country, but one that you can take with you, and how to create income where you're not just exchanging your time for money, but you are leveraging your time to make money. And then location independence, all about different co-working and co-living concepts, remote work, distributed companies, and how things are shifting from 9 to 5 to location independence. Obviously, something I'm really passionate about, and you guys probably saw the interview with Kristin McDaniel, where we talk about co-living, and I've talked and written about that a lot because I feel like it's really going to disrupt our global economy and the industries of the future. And then we have freelancing. So how you can use freelancing to provide more freedom and flexibility. And then super important is mindset. I'm actually going to talk about that a little bit on the live stream today, when I talk about what I've noticed about the US, and like mindset is so important when it comes to changing your life and changing your career and your lifestyle. And then also online marketing. I mean, how you can get clients, how you can generate funds online, how you can develop your personal brand, and then lifestyle design, which is something I've talked about in my workshops and my talks on both the Digital Nomad Cruise and at the Nomad Summit in Las Vegas. So here's a nice quote by Tim Ferriss. I agree with this. I mean, money is relative and you can live like a king on a low amount of money. So here are some of the cool speakers that are going to be at the Lifestyle Conference. And again, you guys can attend this on your computers. You don't have to travel anywhere. I know probably half of these people, they're all super cool. I mean, David Vu, and next to a helicopter, he's like a really good drone pilot actually, but he is a Udemy instructor. Jimmy Narain from Poland, he also has Udemy courses and is a public speaker. This guy Joel, I don't know him, but I'm sure there's just going to be tons of value in each interview. I'm super excited to see it because I know like maybe half of the people, but I also want to watch all of the talks because I'm sure there's going to be something valuable in each one. And that's why I attended the Remote Work Summit, where I didn't know anyone there, but I was interested in what they had to say. And I did connect with some people on Twitter because I really like what they said, really resonated with me and echoed what I've been working on and writing about and studying. So Johnny's going to be there, and he's going to be on our show on Tuesday on Badass Digital Nomads. So you can learn how he managed to grow several passive income streams that generated over $1 million. He owns over 6 figures every year, pretty much in passive income. He's been to over 50 countries. And while earning passive income, he runs 2 podcasts and hosts multiple Nomad Summit conferences in different countries every year. Last year was Thailand and Vegas. This year is Thailand and Mexico. So definitely tune in live to talk to him on Tuesday on my other channel, Digital Nomad TV. And then there's yours truly. Kristin's helped over 1,000 people move, retire, or work abroad in 25 countries. I've been in lots of different media and stuff, but yeah, that's me. And then there's also some other cool people. You might recognize Matt Bowles there. Johannes, the founder of Nomad Cruise, and just like a lot of other cool people. Everyone does something different. So whether you're interested in marketing or online business or travel or public speaking or just finding remote jobs, anything, Christoph, he is, you guys might know him. I think he has maybe a YouTube channel, but he talks a lot about like free private cities and flag theory and living a tax-free lifestyle. So he's going to be on there. I mean, there's just so many cool people. Julia Shem, she has an awesome story. She actually is from Russia and got a scholarship or some opportunity to study in the US, and now she has a multi six-figure passive income business. Like, look at how many cool people. I don't even know. They keep adding more every day. So, or it seems like it. So, anything that you guys are interested in, I'm sure there's something. Greg Curtin is hilarious. You have to watch his interview. He lived in Africa. He lived in Asia. Yeah, he's cool. Daniel's super smart. He's a business consultant and corporate consultant. So, and then here we have a frequent flyer. So yeah, like there's a lot going on. And now the schedule is out, or they sent it to me, but I'm speaking on April 29th. So I'll remind you guys on social media. But if you want to see more about that, then make sure you tune in for the video after the live stream. It's like a short teaser that I put together. So what else? How's chat going on? Hello, everyone. Let me move this over so you're not looking at the side of my head. So Tech Lords, hello. Walt, hello. Larry. K-Bar is here. Francesco Brownlee is here. Hey, guys. Hope you're having a great weekend. And also like 10 other people. Hi, everyone who's watching. Mandrake Ramon is here. Let me see if there's anything else. I'll do a couple questions and then some other things that I've wanted to cover. Digital Lifestyle Conference. Yeah, okay. We'll do some questions and then I'll talk about how surreal it's been to be back in the US. Tech Lords might go to Europe on May 14th. Nice. So my ticket goes back to Europe on May 8th, but I'm not sure. I'm kind of thinking of staying in Florida longer, which will be complicated with my taxes and stuff. But, you know, there are ways to optimize your life in this lifestyle. You can decide where you live, you can travel, whatever, you can change your cost of living. But at the same time, you have to listen to yourself and you have to listen to your body and you have to listen to your intuition. So on paper, what might seem like a good idea or the most logical idea might not always feel right. And so I'm kind of taking things 1 week at a time. And I'm scheduled to leave in 2.5 weeks. But if I feel like I need more time and that I'm not feeling ready to travel again, then I might skip Scotland and Ireland and stay in Florida for a couple more weeks. So, you know, even though if I want to qualify for the foreign income exclusion, I should be really cognizant of how many days I'm spending in the US or abroad. Life is too short to really make all of these decisions based on saving money or lowering expenses or whatever. Sometimes you have to do things because it feels right. And so right now, it's been not even 2 weeks, you know, it's been like, what, 10 days or something since I got here. But I'm not feeling like I'm ready to pack up my bag again. In fact, I haven't even unpacked everything yet. And so we'll see. I'm not going to force it. And if I'm feeling like I really like being here with my my routine and my desk and my monitor and being able to edit videos and create content and work more efficiently. And like, if I feel like I want a few more weeks of that, I might stay longer. So for people asking, where am I? Where am I going? I'm in Florida right now. I haven't lived in Florida since really like 2016, 2017, like for a few months. And I meant to be flying out on May 8th to Scotland and then going to Ireland. And then after that, going to Paris for a workshop with Rolf Potts, who wrote the book Vagabonding. But I might just stay here until Paris in June. So I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. Keep the questions coming. Tech Lords, did you do another donation? Because my Bitcoin amount jumped up. Was that you? I meant to ask you that. I didn't realize. I've been reading this book called The One Thing. And let me make sure I can see. Yes. I ordered it on Amazon and it came in one day. God, that's like also, I'm so used to not ordering on Amazon, but it's talking about simplifying your life. And I realize how many things that I do. And I think I should simplify more. So if you're doing too many things, you can't do anything really well. So I'm continuously coming back to like, I really have three main things right now. I have my relocation business, Poker Refugees. I have YouTube, multiple channels, multiple types of videos, live and produced. And then I have the book that I've been editing. So every time I get the urge to do something else or start something else, I'm like, no, not until the book is done. Not until this relocation is done. Not until this video is done. Like you have to keep things in check. Yeah, so what else? Okay, I see that, Walt. And Francesco, okay. Oh, cool. So Francesco bought an eBay course from David Vu a year ago. So he's one of the guys in the Digital Lifestyle Conference. And again, the link to sign up for that for free is right here. Oh, and Francesco was at the Nomads Summit in Chiang Mai. Cool. Oh, yeah, we talked before, I think, about that. Oh, wow. There's another volcano in Bali. They will probably stay. I think the Dojo Bali digital nomads are pretty committed. I don't see them going anywhere unless it's like really serious, like a tsunami or something. If you saw me on Nomad Summit, that Francesco, that would have been the Vegas one. That's the one I was at. Surfing is my thing. It's so cool. Hey, welcome to the stream. No, I don't know that song. I used to surf. Did you guys know that? I probably talked about that. I actually saw a friend the other day at my workout class, and she's like, oh, let's go surfing. I'm like, I haven't surfed in like a year. But the last time I surfed was probably California in January of 2018. So yeah, being back in the US. So I was here January 2018. And on February 1st, I flew to Japan, and I really haven't been back since then. So that was like almost, over a year. I did come back for a couple days for Christmas, but that was like for a wedding for one day and then back, and then I flew out again. So now that I've had some distance from the US, I have to say that, so I already have a bit of a detached perspective from what's going on in the US just because I've spent so many years of my life at this point in different countries. So not in like I wouldn't say that I feel like superior or anything like judgmental about the US. It's not like that. It's just having like a different perspective on what's going on compared to when I grew up here and compared to when I lived in the US in like 2014, 2015, 2016. So just like if a friend asks you for advice, you have a different perspective on their situation versus what they're going through personally. Or if you're having a problem and you ask people for advice, then you want a different external opinion. So I have that kind of dynamic with the US where when I'm here for a long time, I just notice less things because I become more used to my environment. But having not been here for over a year, I just started to notice some things. So the first thing I started noticing was being in Amsterdam, because there is such a big expat community there from all over the world, but there's also a lot of Americans there. And I started noticing that the American expats seem to be more, I guess, like more distracted, like more engaged, like with their phones, like their cell phones, for example, than like being with their kids. So I kept noticing, because I like to do things during off-peak hours. So I during like rush hour or peak lunch hour or peak brunch hour if it's a Saturday or a Sunday, for example. So like I like to do my grocery shopping, for example, like during a weekday during the day, there's nobody in there. So it's basically me and then expat moms, I guess you could say. Like maybe I don't know if they're part-time employed or whatever, but they would be like these would be like American women like pushing their strollers or their shopping carts through the grocery store while looking at their cell phone, and like their kids like screaming in the cart or whatever, and just kind of like not very engaged with the kid, which would be a lot different compared to if I would see like local dads, for example, like pushing their kid to the coffee to get a coffee, or like riding their bike to get a coffee. And like it was just like a different dynamic, and I was like, that's kind of weird. Like I don't have kids, so like I know what it's like to, you want to give the kid the iPad because you need a break or whatever. But I just started noticing that like more and more often, and I was like, whatever. I didn't really think much of it, but I was like, no, that's kind of, I wonder if that's an issue worldwide with like moms and dads being like more tied up with their phones than like engaging with their children. Like one mom actually had like her hand on the kid's like chair or something, but she was just like this, like it was weird. So then I get back to the US, and my phone died actually in the airport, and I had moved my luggage around, so I didn't have my charger or the right cable in the right bag. So I just like walked out, and it was one of those things where, and again, I don't know if this is happening everywhere or just when I landed in the US, it was a lot more visible, I guess, that pretty much everybody around me, like it was kind of like zombies. Like everyone was walking around like holding their phones, and I didn't have mine because it was dead. So like maybe I'm normally a zombie too, but just looking around and just feeling like it was like it was a bit strange. And then since I've gotten to Florida and like back to my house and into like kind of a routine, I've noticed a really high level of stress that I don't necessarily perceive when I'm in Europe, for example. So when I've gone out to eat, or even this morning going out to breakfast, there's like this very heightened, like agitated, stressed out kind of energy in the restaurants, at least the ones that I've been to, where the waiters and like the servers are really stressed out and like running by the table and like kind of making like me feel stressed out. I'm like, they're very apologetic and like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And like, do you need anything? And like, I just want to be like, it's okay. Like, just come back later with that glass of water. Like, don't stress yourself out. And I've been hearing stuff like radio ads and seeing a lot of signage, and even a supermarket truck, like a Publix grocery store truck that came by and it said, in a hurry, we're ready for you. And like everything seems to be geared towards people who are in a hurry and like don't have time for anything. And maybe I'm more aware of this because of this book, like this One Thing book, but also I think it's because of Europe I mean, I always feel like I'm the one who's more stressed out and like hurried and busy compared to a lot of the locals. And it's probably still based on like my lifestyle from growing up in the US and being like very achievement oriented, and like rat race is our default here. So that has become just a lot more apparent to me since being away for a couple years. And I think I always knew that, but I don't know, like being back here, and especially because I'm so engaged in the digital nomad remote work industry, and I'm always reading about it and learning about it and writing about it and talking about it. And like my article about how much extra time digital nomads get per year, and not having to commute and all of this stuff that, like, I went to the dentist, for example, and the hygienist cleaning my teeth was like talking to me about her work commute, which is like over an hour each way. And she was like kind of complaining about how the town is growing so quickly and the traffic is so bad, and that now she has to take a different route to get to work. And, you know, like, I don't know, like just thinking of that, like 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's like a whole day out of your life to be, you know, to spend commuting. And I think the other thing that I've noticed is how I feel like the news in the US is kind of like always inciting a kind of negativity or panic or like urgency about something. Like everything is a problem, or these like really seemingly insignificant, in my opinion, anecdotal stories get blown into like this whole thing on the news. Then like everyone's talking about it, and everyone knows about this one person who did this one thing wrong, or that they perceive as wrong or bad. And then everyone, it's like a mob mentality. Like everyone just kind of like gangs up on that person or that situation. And it's even like in my family, like they're talking about these things that happened on the news. And I'm like, why is that on the news? Like, why is that even news? And I don't know, like I kind of feel very pensive about this whole thing, like just thinking it over. And then of course we have the elections where it's like, I feel like there should be a limit on how long we can campaign for. Like, I think we've kind of crossed the point to where we're like campaigning year round in the US, and it's like burnout. Like how can people have such short attention spans online, but yet hold our attention span permanently when it comes to like politics or campaigning? Like that can't be healthy. We need an ebb and a flow. Like with work, you can't always work 80, 90 hours a week. And with the news, it can't always be bad, or it can't always be urgent. And yeah, I don't know. So, and I was thinking, of course, like with digital nomadism, to like tie it together. I saw a really good quote in this book that like kind of summed it all up for me. You know, when you're looking for an answer and it shows up, that's been happening to me a lot lately. So it said, and this doesn't even have anything to do with that. Like I just related it because it was on my mind. But where is it? Okay, anyone who dreams of an uncommon life eventually discovers there is no choice but to seek an uncommon approach to living it. And it's talking about how, like, in life, we have to ask the right questions. Like, if you want the right answers in life, you need to ask the right questions. And from this arm's length distance of being away from the US and coming back, I feel like people are not asking the right questions. Like there's kind of more of a default to like get mad about something or complain about it or lament it than there is to focus on your own life and what could you change, you know, whether it's your 1 hour commute to work each way or whatever it is that's bothering you. And in this book, it talks about how we can't really achieve this ideal of like work-life balance if you think of everything in your life as being a different ball. So you have your health, you have your friends, your relationships, your family, your work. If everything is a different ball that you're juggling, you can only juggle one at a time. And if you drop the work ball, if you fail in business, if you fail in your career, it's a rubber ball. You drop it, you can drop it a million times. It's always going to bounce back. It might bounce higher or lower, but it's always going to bounce back. But if you drop your health ball or your family ball or whatever, it's a glass ball and it's going to shatter. And I kind of feel like people here are like having trouble keeping all of these balls in the air. Like they're rushing to Publix to get food on the table, and they're rushing to like stretching things to try to pay bills. And we can't even get into health insurance. Like I've heard some stories that people are paying $2,000 a month for health insurance here. Like that is insane, completely insane. So it's like people are living in like a heightened state of stress here. They don't have enough time. They're rushing around at work. They're rushing around in their personal lives. And I think that asking some tough questions could bring some new answers and some new insights, and not necessarily worrying so much about the collective mayhem and craziness that's going on, but to just take a more narrow perspective and be like, okay, you know, your life is made up of days. Your days is made up of moments. So it's like, how can you keep making the right decision in that moment? But how do you know what decision to make is to ask yourself, what are the things that are, you know, most important to you? Like my mom, don't want to throw her under the bus, but like there's some things that I've heard her complain about since I was born. And I don't know if they're ever going to change. And going to breakfast with my grandma, who's 92, there's things that she still complains about that she's been complaining about since I've known her, since I was a baby. So having this like self-awareness to be like, okay, or seeing it in someone else, or seeing it in a culture or in a country or whatever. Okay, these are things that look not ideal. So let me reflect on my personal situation. And when I'm starting to feel stressed out or whatever it is, how can I change that? How can I ask myself the right question? So it says, ask the most powerful question possible, and the answer can be life altering. And then it also quotes an author named Nancy Willard, who wrote, sometimes questions are more important than answers. And so it says, life is a question, and how we live it is our answer. How we phrase the questions we ask ourselves determines the answers that eventually become our life. So instead of having like a reaction mentality to all of these things, or how instead of accepting the status quo, like let's live uncommon lives, and let's not be consumed with the status quo. Like, let's just ask, how could it be different for me? How can I go grocery shopping without rushing through the store? You know, and it can be difficult, but like, let's just ask. So anyway, that's just kind of something that I've noticed, is just people being disconnected. And like, it talks about trends in this book, how like mental health and meditation and all these things became buzzwords after the concept of work-life balance failed. And, you know, after the concept of multitasking was proven to be a myth, like all of these things that we accepted as fact turned out not to be true. And so then people swung in the other direction and started looking for peace of mind and happiness and contentment and enjoyment and experience, and, you know, not working themselves to death. So it seems like things are getting, from the outside, like it doesn't seem like things are improving that much here. It seems like things are getting more hysterical. Like if you're in the US, or, you know, if you're in the US, like try to keep things in perspective and like know that you don't have to be engaged with this like hyper panic that goes on. And if you are living outside of the US and you used to live here, then like maybe you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you've been able to experience that difference in like the collective energy being like mellower in other countries. What do you guys have to say about that? Let me know. Okay, I'll get to some questions because now we have 9 minutes before my video premieres. We might all be on this video when it premieres, but we'll see. Okay, someone asked if I invest in Bitcoin. I wouldn't say I invest in it, but well, I used to sort of, but I bought and sold at the wrong times. So now I just like have some, but I'm not actively investing. I have at different times owned a lot of different cryptocurrencies. In a few weeks, we're having a super cool blockchain crypto person. I don't know what to call her, expert author. Maybe Tech Lords knows her. Her name is Samantha Radochia. She's going to be on the show live. So all of you crypto people, bring your A game. Francesco, the weather is perfect here. It is about like 22 degrees Celsius, like 60s and 70s Fahrenheit, and sunny, and it's beautiful. Mandrake says, what are the best cities to find single women for digital nomads? I think, like, from my experience, digital nomads and expat men tend to flock to places like Latin America, especially Central America and Southeast Asia, if they're specifically looking for like eligible bachelorettes. They seem to do well there. But there's plenty of digital nomads and expats also in other countries as well, in other regions and continents. But from my personal experience, I've noticed that a lot. Like Medellin, for example, like beautiful women there, beautiful women everywhere. But yeah, Thailand. K-Bar says, how did I like Japan? I loved it. I have some more Japan videos coming, but let me see if I can find my Japan playlist here around my microphone. I do have some, let's see, Japan travel videos. Oh, I have like 8 or 10. Oh, I have more coming. But here's some Japan. I actually have on my list some more to edit. Oh, cool. Larry's going on a Baltic road trip from Copenhagen to Latvia through Stockholm, Finland. Awesome. My parents are going there in a couple weeks. They're driving from Denmark to, I think, Stockholm and maybe Norway or something. Bye, Francesco. Thanks for coming by. And Tech Lords is going to the talent offices of Promether. Cool. He's the community manager for them. Crypto Life. Walt is considering e-residency and creating an Estonian entity. Any tips? First, I would just make sure that you need that. I actually wrote about that in my book. There's a chapter on where to base your company, e-residency, stuff like that. And it's really just about determining if it's something that you need. Like I do a case study on how many Indian business owners have created corporate structures in Estonia, but it's not necessarily relevant or necessary for people from certain other countries because maybe they already have access to the EU or maybe they already have like low risk banking structures and they don't need that. But if you need to access the EU market for your business, then it's a good option of doing it. But it doesn't have any like personal benefit. So for travel or things like that. Nice. Tech Lord's got a flight. Multiple flights for 40 euros. Good work. Walt is in DC. Yeah, airfares outside the US are ridiculously cheap. I think I got my flight from Amsterdam to Edinburgh for like $40 or something. Also, I was looking on Google Flights and business class flights from the US to Europe, and I found the cheapest routes went to Ukraine and Turkey, which is basically Europe. I mean, it's like Eastern Europe. So if you can get a cheap long haul flight to any country in Europe, you can then make your own stopover and take a direct short flight for only 40 euro or 20 euro or whatever. So I recommend doing that when you're booking your flights. Yeah. Tech Lords paid for his flights in crypto. Yes, his whole trip. And couch surfing in Talon. Well, that's good because Talon's so expensive for Airbnbs. Yeah. I mean, Larry, the US airlines are so crazy. Like the change fee of a US ticket is more than like buying 5 tickets. Like $300 change fee. Hey, Christina. Yeah, the yellow or orange devil. Which devil are you talking about? Walt says he sees more news than the rest of the world since he's in the DC area. Oh, the orange devil. Okay. I was like, wait, who are you talking about? Okay. Plans on running the US like a hotel. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, anyone who grew up in New York, you guys know. I think that um, a block of the US doesn't see the forest through the trees right now. Like I have seen some headlines of like irreversible damage being done to like the national psyche and the government institutions, and I do think it's going to be one of those things where we look back in hindsight and we're like, wow, that was actually worse than we thought. Or no, it's as bad as we think, but it's like trying to think about the universe. Like you can't really comprehend everything that's going on or like how big the universe is because it's like too big. There's too many infinite things going on all the time to like really wrap your head around it. I don't do any sort of day trading. But I have been investing in like mutual funds, some stocks, and like my IRA. I have like a Roth IRA and a SEP IRA that I've had. The Roth IRA I've had since I was like 21, I think. And actually, I once went to Merrill Lynch's head office, and like the head of Merrill Lynch, or like one of the head guys, executives, was like, "Oh, how did you get such a good return on your IRA?" And I was like, "I'm coming to you for advice, dude. Like, I just read the what are they called? Like the papers. I'm drawing a blank. There's like a word for them. Like the reports. I just read the reports of each fund." Oh, my video is starting, you guys. Shoot. I don't know where that's coming. It's starting in 2 minutes. Should we go? Oh, cool. Tech Lord's nephew's in town. Okay, guys, let's turn off the live stream and go watch my premiere about the Digital Lifestyle Conference. And we'll have, if you want to be on the Google Hangout, sign up on Patreon and come over on Tuesday to the Digital Nomad live stream on Digital Nomad TV. And here is the link. So Tuesday at 12 p.m. And 1 minute to go until the video starts. So let's go watch it together. Awesome. You guys are great. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And see you in a minute. We have 45 seconds. So Walt, Tech Lords, Larry, Francesco, Christina, who else? K-Bar, Mandrake, and anyone else who's here. Thank you guys for coming. See you next Sunday at 12 p.m. And stay tuned tomorrow and Tuesday for new videos. And stay tuned now. In 10 seconds, we're going to watch the premiere of the Digital Lifestyle Conference teaser. So let me know what you think in chat.